right now.
Sheesh. We lost him, man. That's it.
But yeah, back to it. But yeah, man, like we agreed on last time, bro. Jazz a cool team. It's nice to have. Great to show off for friends or whatnot. But yeah, when it comes to crunch time, they're not there. It's like at this point they just need to do something to kind of switch it up, and hopefully we'll see what Donovan Mitchell's future holds. So go from there.
Surely, for sure. Man, speaking of the future, man, they're saying Giannis might be the best player in the league, man. Is there any truth to that?
LeBron fan as I am, and I
Mhm.
love Kevin Durant's game as well, but he's definitely like number one right now, man. Guy, besides winning the two MVPs and stuff like that, bro, he's just like Shaq said it, bro. Like he's just dominant, bro. Like the guy doesn't care about his field goal percentage. He's going to attack, attack, attack. No one can stay in front of him. His game is like literally evolving and transforming in front of our eyes, bro. Like watching him be from an 8 point a game score, skinny, scrawny kid coming, into the country in the States and just to where he is now, it's just like it's wild, man. Like he's a complete package almost, bro. It was really even scarier is like I don't even feel like he's reached like the pinnacle of his game, bro, to be honest. But yeah, man, I mean the guys want to, defensive player, all these accolades. He got a chip. He's one of those last of the Mohicans where he's doing it as, staying with the same team that's drafted him, winning a chip there. And that's kind of like putting a team on his back oftentimes, man. That's definitely rare in a time where, players are want to use their freedom, as they should, though. I'm definitely all about player movement, based off of, the reason they have, wanting to win chips, wanting to play with other people. But I mean, I honestly don't see anyone else kind of doing what he's doing right now. And that's respect to the Kevin Durant's and LeBron. I put LeBron, but yeah, I think no one's kind of topping that right now, man. Who you got as the best player in the league?
Man, so I've been a big critic of Giannis for some time, but I think, like I said, in the recent years, man, especially I think the last year's playoffs, I think really opened it up to me to be able to say, okay, man, I've got to make some concessions for this dude, man. So I gotta go ahead and first give my apologies to Giannis, but man, because like you said, I mean, year after year he adds something to his game. He improves in some sort, and it's visible, man. Like you said, he gained some strength, man. He gained some athleticism. He gets confidence. I mean, he's becoming more of like a distributor, as well as making better decisions around the rim. He's adding the mid-range game. I mean, I mean, dude is ridiculous, man. And I have to admit, why, like even recency bias aside, I mean, the numbers on paper are relatively similar to what, like I said, we saw LeBron average about 30. We saw KD
37.
average, close to 30, man. But Giannis is right there on that 30 button. But he's also giving you, 12 rebounds a game and 6 assists. And he shoots 55% from the field. I mean, so on the offensive end of things, I mean, can we argue that KD is more skilled in the terms of basketball? Yes. But if I had to make if I'm taking a blueprint, like if I had to build a base player off of, I mean, I'm gonna have to take Giannis because he's adding so much to his game. And while KD, he's shown us flashes of how dominant he can be on every facet of the court. Giannis completes. He does show that day in, day out, night in, like in night out. He competes on defense. He'll guard. He'll take the challenge. He'll guard the other team's best player, whether it's a small, whether it's a big. He'll get out there. He'll challenge shots. He'll slide his feet on defense. He dives on the floor. He'll go out there on offense. Post. He's a matchup problem. He'll post you up if you're too small. He'll go around you if you're too short. I mean, all you can do is really just try and hope he shoots the jump shot and hope he misses. And so I think it'll be undisputable that once Giannis is knocking down jump shots consistently because he's worked on his free throws. It's free throws. You can't just hack a Giannis anymore.
Mm-mm.
Can't do that. I mean, once them jump shots are falling at a consistent rate, it's I just cannot see that there's going to be any type of discussion for it, because like I said, what the Celtics were able to do the pregame for KD, able to take him out of his spots. One, I think that had to do with coaching, but that's another part of the we're gonna talk about. But I just don't see even game one. In hindsight, KD was, I'm sorry, Giannis was 9 for 25, 36% from the field. I mean, that's unusual, completely unusual for Giannis. And the fact of how he gets his points, I don't see him going out like that for 4 games. He just finds a way to get the ball in the basket. And that's what I gotta love about him, is that he does have that mama mentality where he will like you said, he does not care about the field potential. He will continue to put pressure on the defense, whether it's from a facilitating standpoint, whether it's from a scoring standpoint, because at the end of the day, if he's out in transition, if he's got the ball, you've got to try and double, you've got to try to figure something out, because he is always a threat. And I mean, this is a 7-footer that plays like a 7-footer. I mean, because we got guys, we talk about guys like KD that are super, super skilled with shooting a silky smooth jump shot, handle. Giannis will just 2 dribbles, take you to the cup, power dunk on you. And there's nothing you can do. So once you start sagging off of him and he's hitting jump shots, it's like you said, he's just completely dominant, because you can sag off of him for a little bit, but after eventually he will just go ahead and start putting you in the rim. He's an offensive rebounding threat. I gotta salute Giannis. I do think at the current moment he is the best player in the league.
Nah, for real, man. You kind of put on all the points, bro. It's just like I don't know, I can't explain it, man. I've never even seen like you said, that Mamba mentality, bro. He had is just like it's incredible, man. Like the guy's willing to work on his game each and every year. He never kind of goes away from what made him his money, or he's really, really great at. But yeah, man, like literally no one's like doing anything with him.
Yeah.
And it's like these are like impactful buckets too. It's
Yeah.
not like, he's just not stat padding, but I ain't gonna like to a degree, Kevin Durant, he had like I think 29 or 30 the last game when they got swept by Boston. But it was just kind of like that's cool, but it really didn't mean too much in the game. Like he literally impacts games from both ends, both sides. You say he'll give you 30 points, man, 11 rebounds, 6 assists. What about 4 blocks? So it's like, hey, man, yeah, I don't see no one slowing him down anytime soon. Like we said, man, he hasn't reached the pinnacle. He's just like Shaq already named him the new Superman. So it is what it is, man. He wears the crown right now. So salute to him.
And that's what, like you said, I think is so crazy about it, is that this guy, he's scoring all these points, but like you said, the knock on him is, oh, he doesn't have a jump shot. What what I'm saying is, if you tell him he's this dominant without a jump shot, without creativity around the rim, you tell him he adds this to his game, which we know Giannis is working on. It if he's shooting 30% from 3 right now in this past season. So I mean, he bumps that up to 35, 37. I mean, now granted, that's a big jump to make. That's crazy. They're like, he will easily lead the league in scoring. And like you said, it's not even as if he's looking to score every time. He'll get you buckets. And like I said, I think it's just any type of scenario, any type. He's a guy, you said, that'll play hard enough to. You don't need sets to be run for him to get him going. He will find a way to get his own buckets.
Yeah, man. Like you said, he's just a player. You just go out and let play. What I really, really respect him a lot, like he'll play all 82 games if he can. He still has the same motor he has with all the accolades and fame. It's just like he's so tunnel vision, bro.
Yeah.
And like you said, besides Kobe, man, I haven't really seen too many players kind of that focused and zeroed in on
Yeah,
just winning the game of basketball, bro. He treats game one same way he would treat, game 82, or
yeah.
he doesn't take any opponent lightly. If it's someone he can take advantage of, he's going to do that. If it's a matchup, he's going to show up. So I mean, hey, salute to the guy.
Thanks. I got to give it to him, man. It's tough right now. I mean, like you said, Jokic and Embiid, and of course King James always in that conversation. But Giannis is right now. He's tough, man. He's tough, and he's proven it on every stage, man. Well, against all these top athletes.
Hey, we'll see, man. Hey, that boy Luca though, he coming
Yeah,
up there, bro. Keep
Lucas
creeping and crawling,
Lucas
bro.
Lucas definitely a sleeper. He's a baller, man. Do you think the Celtics will be able to kind of hold Giannis similar to how they kind of were able to have KD had that tough series?
I don't think so for the mere fact that with the Brooklyn Nets, man, they were so two-player dynamic. Like they literally ran the offense and scored 60 or 40 points, that being Kevin Durant and Kyrie, to where, they didn't have as much depth as this Milwaukee Bucks, team has. So
Mhm.
with that, man, granted, all focus is on Giannis, but you don't get to mess up Pat Connaughton's, the Drew Holidays, they have so many other offensive weapons that can get you 20 to 18 points a game. It's like you kind of, you can't just zero all your attention on Giannis, man. Like we said, he's going to do what he wants to do. Shooting 6 for 19, going 1 for 15. That's not going to stop his mental from continuing to attack the basket or do what they do. But I don't think, man, that's going to do anything. Like I said, like I think Celtics just got to get hot, bro. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown cannot have the same game they had today.
Mhm.
Shooting poorly, they got to get it going because I mean, to be honest, bro, Boston's almost a 2 or 3 player Brooklyn Net, man. They're two dynamic scorers there. They have a few players here and there that can score, but like for most part, everything runs through JB and JT. So
Mhm.
similar how everything ran through Kyrie and KD. But yeah, man, I don't think they'll stop him, bro. It's a mental thing, and Giannis is kind of, I think that was his biggest hurdle he had to deal with his career, just learning how to get better and just play the game right. And he's kind of got that focus and mentality, and he's going to do what he's going to do regardless. It's up to them to stop him. So I don't think that's happening.
Facts. All
So we'll
right.
see, man. We'll see.
And speaking of, man, the Brooklyn Nets, man, what do you think went wrong with the Nets, and do you see any big changes from them moving forwards?
Well, it was tough because Kyrie, for one, just started playing games about 2 months ago. Also, the whole James Harden, he didn't want to be there. The hamstring thing, that
Mhm.
was kind of another distraction. KD missed like what 15 to 20 games this season due to an injury. So I knew the record wasn't going to be there as far as regular season goes, but it was just like I ain't gonna lie, it wasn't that they did terrible. It was just Boston's defense, bro. Like they were just a better, hotter team. They
Mhm.
didn't some are saying Steve Nash not the best coach.
Mhm.
There's no hearsay, she say with that.
Mhm.
I just don't know, man. It's just the dynamics weird, bro. Like it's almost as if basketball isn't the number one priority. It seems like in the team, to be honest with you, man, you have LaMarcus Aldridge, you don't use him. Blake Griffin's not getting the game. Great acquisition of Ben Simmons. That's another thing.
Mhm.
I don't know. They got some big decisions to make, bro. Because Kyrie, he's up for I think extension. So they got some decisions to make, bro. They've already broken up the team enough, so it's just pieces at this point. But I just think, man, they were so Kyrie and Katie centric that they didn't really take into account the supporting cast, where the Karis LeVerts of the world when he was on the team, and Spencer Dinwiddie's where they kind of played a part. It's just they got 3 or 2 great natural scores and just like, hey, do your thing. So they got to find some pieces, bro.
Facts. Man, they're so lost in the sauce.
Yeah.
I think what went wrong with the Brooklyn Nets this year was everything. Everything that could have went wrong with them went wrong. You had Kyrie Irving not being able to play due to COVID mandates. You had Kevin Durant getting hurt. You had James Harden requesting a trade. Then you brought in players Andre Drummond and Seth Curry, who respectfully did pretty well since they came over. But then you had Ben Simmons, who was the major piece of the puzzle, not suit up for one game. Not for one game. You brought over Blake Griffin, who barely saw playing time throughout the season. You saw some impressiveness in some of the rookies, Cam Thomas, Daron Sharp, as a couple others. And then they disappeared towards the end of the season and didn't see any playing time, playoffs. And just respectfully, I think they said Kyrie and KD probably played together over the last 2 years. I think it was like I can't remember the exact number, but it was essentially a little to a lot. Out of the whole season, these guys barely played together over the last couple of years. So, I mean, I think it's just a lot. Every little thing went wrong with them that could have gone wrong. And while I think they made the best of scenarios, like I said, we saw guys, rookies step up. We saw guys that got traded play well. When it came down to the playoffs, where it all mattered, because everyone picked them as early as title contenders, they got swept. And they got swept. I think the hierarchy is, Steve Nash is a great basketball mind, but I just don't think Steve Nash is as good as coach as he was a player. And by that, watching that Celtics series, at the end of the day, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, we know those are two of the greatest players offense to play offense. But basketball is not a one-on-one game. And a lot of what I saw with the Celtics and Nets games, because I went ahead and watched those full on back-to-back entire games, why they were so easy to game plan for is obviously, you got KD and Kyrie who's going to share and shoulder majority of the offensive work. What the Celtics do? Build a wall. KD's sweet spots right around the elbows, high wings. Kyrie's sweet spots right around the wings, top of the key. When they get that ball and get in that rhythm to try and go isolation basketball, we're doubling every chance we get. We're building help defense everywhere we get. And what happened, the Nets were not able to make adjustments. As a coach, we know watching the game, the KD and Kyrie are going to get game plan for. So while these guys are able to make ridiculous shots, they're able to make ridiculous moves, you have to put them as a coach in positions to be successful. KD's ice cold for game 1, game 2, eventually game 3, maybe game 4. Okay, we finally let him figure it out. But even game 4, that's just KD just being KD. Talent just shine through. There's no way KD shouldn't be coming off brush screens into at least 1 or 2 open shots a game. I understand he's KD and then the defense is going to focus on him, but you got to put him in a position to do well. You got to off-ball screen for him. You got to get him rolling to the basket, something to get him going. That's going to open up your offense. Same thing with Kyrie. We've got to find a way to get Kyrie going. So instead of having to have him work all his energy going 1-on-5, 1-on-4, 1-on-3, trying to score, that's a lot of work to not only beat Defensive Player of the Year, Marcus Smart, off the dribble, and then you run into Grant Williams, Al Horford helping. You got Jason Tatum to slide him in help side. That's a huge defense. So let's say you make that shot. You took all that energy to make that shot. Now they come back and score on you. You tell me you got to do it again? I just don't think the Nets made any adjustments going throughout the series. They barely made any substitutions. I understand it's playoffs. You want to keep a strong lineup in that's got experience. But I think from top to bottom, like I said, coaching staff and down, I just don't think the Nets have what they needed to be successful. They had games where Steph Curry goes for 20 points, and then he's not an offensive factor anymore because of how they're running offense. There's no way a guy like Seth Curry can come in is a sniper, and he's not getting plays right for him to at least get him open. You got Patty Mills who came in, who started off the year leading the league in 3-point percentage. He's not getting open looks. There's adjustments got to be made. And then, of course, they had Joe Harris that was hurt as well. I just think literally everything went wrong for the Nets, and they're probably going to have to do some shaking around.
I think, bro, I will say this, though. 2 things.
Mm.
I feel like James Harden masked a lot of the offensive troubles they had because,
Yeah.
granted,
Yeah.
they didn't have a lot of set plays or whatnot, but he's
Right.
a great facilitator and playmaker. If you watch them play, like he oftentimes directed this was going on. The offense where it played to be, go this way, this way, this way. He kind of slowed things down a little bit. But with them not without having a playmaker, granted, Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, they could do some playmaking, but they were almost uncomfortable in that role, you see, of being that main dominant ball handling guy. They're used to, having someone set them up, put them in certain positions and plays to where they can, thrive. Kevin Durant's a great curl, come around that mid-range area. Kyrie Irving, dance, 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 be in a corner. It kind of, it was a new adjustment for him. I think Ben Simmons will help him defensively, kind of slow everything down. But
Mhm.
like you said, man, I feel like, Steve Nash has been there for 2 or 3 seasons. And it's like, come on, bro. Like, you can't do a AAU offense. Let's be honest
Right.
with that. I mean, granted, you have the best scorers in, the world. Kevin Durant, no one can really guard him. Honestly, it's just he misses the shot. Let's keep it a band. Kyrie Irving, dance, dance, dance. He'll do what he got to do. But it's just like, come on, man. Playoff times, you got to set things up, some OTAs or do something, man. Like you said, it just almost looked like they were lost at times.
Yeah.
Then you guys aren't, using the whole bench, man. Like you said, you got the Seth Currys, Blake Griffins, the LaMarcus Aldridges. These are veteran guys as well who've been there, done that. A lot of the times, man, the lineups that Kevin Durant and Kyrie are in, it's a young team. They don't do too much. And no disrespect, man, I clearly don't have any NBA talent to know, but I mean, they aren't comparable to a Boston Celtic team. So it's just like, man, you can't just throw two great guys out there and display. So this is a great display of teams that, planning to try to do this experiment, let's be honest, and letting them know, like, hey, you need a great coach. All the talent in the world, they couldn't have one game, bro. Just think about that. All the talent in the world, one game. So I think they'll give it another year, especially with Ben Simmons. I think he'll definitely play next year. He'll definitely bring, a different dynamic that James Harden defensively couldn't do. And as far as a playmaker, I like Ben Simmons playmaking slightly better than James Harden, respectfully. I think, they'll see what they can do with that. But if it doesn't work, man, I can see them trading Kyrie Irving pretty
Mm.
soon. Because I honestly don't know if they're gonna give him that 5 year, bro, 5 year contract extension. To be honest, because that's what he's kind of up for. And
Right.
Kevin Durant, he's there for like another season or two, but
Mhm.
yeah, man, I think they experiment, see what's going on, and go from there. But yeah, like you said, bro, like how do you have a guy that leads the league in 3 point field goal percentage and he doesn't really sniff the ball at the time? Like he's
Mhm.
just running out there. He's there for cardio. He's like us. He's just chilling.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, they got to get together, bro. There's no excuse for them not to win one game at least.
Right. Right. Right.
But
I think, like you said, they're really good offense. Like I said, if we talking about if I go to the gym right now, I go to the court right now, and then I see KD, Seth Curry, Patty Mills, Kyrie Irving, and shoot, even the rookie, I believe it was rookie, Nick Claxton was out there. Shoot, that looked like a squad, man. But like you said, that AU offense, pick up run offense ain't gonna work in the grand scheme of things, the highest level. I think a lot of times where they suffered as well was their defensive intensity. Like
oh
guys
god,
were just getting super easy looks against them. And like you said, you pick up two guys that are really good at offensively. It's gonna be hard for them to one shoulder the fold offensively and then shoulder everything defensively. And then not to mention KD and Kyrie. KD has shown ability, but these aren't really guys that are going to be playing defense, especially even when they had Harden at the time. Like I said, Ben Simmons, I could see, but they need a little more defense, I think, as well, uh, in order to bring to the fold.
yeah, bro. Like especially defense, bro. Like I said, granted, it's a very elite league skill as well. Like a guy, a 15th man on the roster can definitely give an average Joe 30 points, or
Right.
it's tough out there. But I'm like, bro, like you said, they're literally like walking to the basket, bro. People were like happy to play Brooklyn. They're like, oh yeah, I know I can get 15 or 20. I can kind of do what I
Exactly.
can do. Kevin Durant and Kyrie too. They too tired right now to guard me. So all I gotta do is blow by respectfully Andre Drummond or Patty Mills. Okay, bet. So yeah, they got to do some things, bro. They got to get some schemes, bro. I say I vote you to be coach, man. You seem like you're very knowledgeable about the game,
Nah,
bro. Just go ahead and put your application in, bro.
that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work them dudes got, man. You dealing with not only egos, but just it's 24 seconds every time down. You got to make something happen. But them dudes get paid a lot of money to make stuff happen. From the coach and things, and then in the player end of things. But like you said, shoot, you had guys like even you mentioned earlier, Marcus Smart, who is not, offensive minded player. This guy had games of 17, 15, and 16, a game with 11 assists. And I mean, I'm sorry, he had 20, 14, and 20, and 12. So, I mean, this is a guy, Marcus Smart, that was shooting amazing from the field, and he was giving you multiple 20-point games. And he's supposed to be your defensive player of the year. I mean,
Right.
the Nets got to they got some thinking to do over the summer, I think.
They
And
should be called the backboards, man, not the Nets no more.
man,
The
like
rim.
you said, a lot of that stuff they had going on this year, well, I think was stemming from just a lot of what they had going on off the court was the biggest problems with them.
For sure. I'm about to say everything we kind of noticed or said about the Nets had nothing to do with on court. So it was just like, all right, so you can kind of already tell how the season should kind of be. Now, like, granted, the James Harden trade was definitely Kevin Durant's face said it all during the All-Star situation. But yeah, I don't know. There was no excuse at the end of the day. So we'll see. I give him one more season together.
For
One
sure.
more season.
For sure. Hey, man, I appreciate y'all for tuning in to the Hoopcast. Hopefully, many more episodes coming soon. Yeah.
Peace.